What up? I'm Swall Dog. I like to build cool stuff. Guys, I got a new truck. Don't worry, still have second gen over there. Not to worry, I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of her. I've had her way too long. But it was time. It was time. The second gen actually left me stranded. I was taking my 1-year-old daughter to a doctor's appointment up in Layton, those familiar with Utah, and coming home, started dying on me on the freeway. My wife was actually on the other side of the valley, down at IKEA, so she wasn't able to help me out. Called my buddy, gave me a tow home. Wasn't even sure what was wrong with the second gen. I thought for sure it was the VP44 going out, so I parked it, and before I even started messing with it, I started looking for new trucks. I mean, it was time anyways, because fitting 3 car seats or car seats and boosters in the back of a second gen, if anyone's ever tried to do that knows what I'm talking about, it's ridiculous. So got a 14 Cummins 6.7 2500, and to be honest with you, I didn't think that I would like it as much as I do, but I really like it. It just drives nice and it rides nice and there's a ton of room and it's super great. But there's not much done to it. Leveling kit, some 35s, and that's about it. Like I said, it's 2014, had about 150,000 miles on it. It's a Bighorn edition. It's got some paint match stuff. It's filthy right now. It needs to be washed, and I was actually going to do that today, except we ran into a little bit of a problem this morning. Before I get to that, I got floor mats for it. WeatherTech, of course. And yeah, it needs ball joints. I knew that when I picked it up. Well, I knew it needed either ball joints or wheel bearings because the front tires, you can see how they're kind of cupped. But once I got it home and checked it out, it was ball joints. So I ordered some Carly, their chromoly heavy duty lifetime ball joints, upper and lower. So I'm going to be putting those in. And I actually took it out to Randy's transmission as well and had them put an upgraded valve body in it. Not that it needed it. I later found out that these 68 RFEs, the factory tuning is super funky, and so just an upgraded tuning really helps that out. But the upgraded valve body obviously will help out as well. Today we're actually doing it got real cold here in Utah this last weekend. It was 60 last week, and this morning when I woke up, well, we got snow yesterday. You can still see remnants of the snow on the ground, but this morning when I woke up to take the kids to school, it was 19 degrees outside. And I started warming the truck up, and I noticed a leak right there. So did the old finger test, gave it a lick, and it was fuel, of course. And so after a little investigating, it looks like it is the factory fuel filter. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but down in here, the factory, you can see it's all wet around the edges right there. So the factory fuel filter on these has a plastic cap that is known to crack. So you pull the plastic cap off the top, but I guess they have a problem with them cracking. I don't know exactly what's going on here. This one, you can tell that it's wet all the way around the top up there, and that's where the fuel's been leaking. So something's obviously going on with it. But luckily, I had already ordered an aftermarket fuel filter. This is the XTP version that I just picked up from Power Driven Diesel. There's a couple different places that make this, but basically what it does is it replaces your factory cartridge style filter with this, and it uses a more standard cat filter. And depending on who you talk to, the cat filter supposedly filters a lot better than the factory one, but it's also a lot cheaper. I mean, for that unit, for just the cartridge to go in the factory unit, you're over $100, where these you can pick up a lot cheaper than that. I mean, $20 sometimes, depending on where you're looking and where you get them from. So luckily I got this. I actually got this for the filtration and the convenience of the filter instead of using the factory one, but luckily I've got it because it looks like that one already started leaking. So let's get it torn apart and see what we can find. Alright, we've got the old one all torn apart, and we're already running into a couple of problems. So I'm going to show you what we got going on here. We got the old one here and the new one here. And the old one, the toughest part about getting the old one out was this fitting back here, just because it was kind of hard to see. There's a little red clip. This is only part of the red clip. There's a little red clip that you have to take off, and of course this one broke when I take it off. And then there's a gray button, kind of like this right here, that you push, and then the thing pops off. So that was the toughest part, but other than that, I mean, there's 3 bolts here, and you got your factory line right here that hooks to the CP3. So you just undo that, undo this one here, there's a plug here, and then it pulls right out. But the issues we're running into, 2 issues. I don't know how they want these fittings oriented. So this one goes right here, and then you cut a hose that's supposed to go here, and then this one goes down, and you make a little hose that takes place of this, because this will actually sit up a little bit higher. It sits about where, like there, height-wise comparison. So make a little adapter for this guy here. But I don't know what they want us to do here, because most of the other ones, like the black market performance or black market diesel ones, they have a 90 that goes here, so it 90s and then goes forward down to this. So I don't know what the issue is there with that, but you know, and we could work around that. I've got extra fittings. We could put another 90 on there and not have an issue. But the other issue is right here is this fitting. So this is your water sensor fitting, and it's supposed to plug in right there. But it doesn't want to thread in. It's a bigger thread and all. On the XDP, these 3 are all the same thread pitch, so that doesn't fit. So I don't know what the issue is. It's supposed to be, if you look up that part number, it's supposed to be 2010 to 2018 6.7 Cummins. So I don't know. We're gonna have to make some phone calls. We were reading some reviews online, and everyone was saying that XDP doesn't have instructions, and they just want you to watch some YouTube videos, but they don't have any specific XDP YouTube videos. Pretty much everything out there is black market diesel performance. So we might end up just returning this one and getting a black market one. So for now, we're going to throw the factory one back on so we can get it running. I don't know why it was leaking before, because it leaked a big puddle and then I couldn't get it to leak again after. It was definitely coming from somewhere around here. This was all wet around here, and this was all wet here. So, but after the truck warmed up when we were driving it, I couldn't get it to leak again. So I don't know if it was because it was so cold that morning. From what I understand, this is a fuel heater plug right here. The factory one doesn't use that, but I don't know if it was the first time the fuel heater was turned on. I don't know what it would do if it, I mean, nothing's loose. I can't see any cracks anywhere. So we're gonna throw it back on and maybe do some more troubleshooting and then figure out what we're going to do about this other part. So this might have turned into a part 1, part 2 type of video, but anyways, we'll see how this goes. All right, she's back together, she's running, and I don't see any leaks with the factory fuel filter housing back on. You can kind of see in here. I can't see any fresh drips coming from down here. This is all the mess I made from taking it apart. But I don't see anything dripping, so we're gonna run that factory for a minute until we figure out what we're gonna do. But for the time being, it looks like XDP's thumbs down for right now, and black market diesels might be the way to go. We'll see, unless there's something I'm not seeing or something that's gonna work better. But until then, I guess we're gonna cut this video here, be a part 2. So hopefully this was helpful with some information on this. Give it a thumbs up if it was, subscribe if you wanna see what's gonna happen in part 2. In the meantime, go build something cool. Later.